What's up, people? ICO. ICO to the world. Well, I guess we on another track now, another page. I have, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. And if you taking it personal, then that's a personal issue. Go seek some counseling and go, talk to a therapist. But this is my opinion, and my opinion is and I'm gonna be careful when I say this, but I think my opinion is about this election is, it shows just how much we have no control over our own lives, our own destiny. On one hand, you got people saying the election is rigged in the media. On the other hand, they saying that the election is not rigged in the media. They saying that CNN and certain other media, channel, outlets, called the election early. You got some complaining and talking about why was the vote stopped. Stuff like that. So as I sit back and I let this marinate and I soak in everything that's transpiring in this country, I really feel like a civil war, it could possibly break out. Not possible, but it could possibly break out. And they saying that Kamala Harris is the first colored woman for vice president, right? But here's the thing. Nobody is paying attention to the words that are being used. They didn't say she was the first black woman to be vice president, but they said she's the first woman of color. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's black. Just because she's the first woman of color doesn't necessarily mean she is associated with black America, with black people. So let's consider that for a minute. Let's step back. Let's take in all the stuff that's going on and understand and do like a process of elimination type situation. Let's try to step back and look at that for a minute. They said that she was the first woman of color, right? Color. Not black, but color. So when Obama ran for office, it wasn't no problem when they said he was the first black president. It wasn't he was the first man of color to be president. They said that he was the first black president. But then when it comes to this woman named Kamala Harris, She's the first woman of color. So let's look at the dynamic here, man. Let's really look at the dynamic here. You got an old grandpa white man that has been somehow elected president, but they still count votes. Like, I'm still trying to understand that, which, is, to me, it's kind of obvious, but, trying to wrap my head around it all, Then you got the current president taking things to litigation and to court. So that don't raise no red flag to nobody. Nobody's really paying attention to really what's going on and behind the cameras. Everybody's so caught up in Joe Biden is the president. That's all that matters to a lot of people right now. Is that Joe Biden is president. Kamala Harris, is the first woman of color. All this, supposed to be, groundbreaking history. I mean, it don't really excite me. And that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. If you, got a problem with it, that's a personal issue. I'm just gonna tell you that's a personal issue. If you seem to have a problem with me, thinking that this whole setup is weird right now, like in this country, like everything that just transpired is, and see, it ain't gonna seem any different to those that haven't lived in this country long, like the ones I'm talking about, like the young people that haven't came from the generation and years that I came from. So I don't expect everybody to fully understand what I'm saying, but only those that came up in my generation, could understand what I'm saying, and probably, help others that don't understand what I'm saying, understand. So I don't vote. I never voted. And you got people that'll say, well, if you ain't never voted, then you can't complain. You can't have no say so. Well, that I want to tell you, that's where you wrong at. That's was your first mistake saying that, because standing back looking at this whole election, even if you do vote, motherfuckers complain. So motherfuckers got a lot to say. So, for those that probably would stand up and say something like that, then, I just want to say, before you stand up and embarrass yourself, please have several seats. Don't get up. Just stay put. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You might learn something from a nigga that, seeing this shit from, a reality, perspective, through, the lens of, real shit and bullshit. The real shit and the bullshit, So, situation like this is something that I ain't never seen. I mean, you got people in this country now in an unrest position. A lot of people don't know where this election gonna take us in the future. A lot of people do, you know. And I just think that anybody that is a human being that got common sense, and it's a lot of people that don't have common sense, and I'm gonna say that because there's a lot of people out here that just don't have common sense. You know, they have the mindset and the sense of social media and, you know, social propaganda and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people out here, you know, just in la la land, just, you know, in la la land. And I think social media and all this technology that, you know, we consume has really made the minds of a lot of people very weak and very docile, and, you know, in some respect, ignorant. You know, it done got to the point to where you got some people that just done got ignorant now, you know, so. And, you know, I mean, you got people that hate Trump. You got people that, you know, hate Biden, you know. Everybody don't love Joe Biden. The only people that love Joe Biden is the people that support him. You know. You know, that's gonna support everything that he about to do when he get in office. And you got a lot of people, man, because they getting paid high salary jobs, they gonna sit back, stay silent. And when they see the bullshit happening, they gonna be too afraid to say something. You got a lot of people on these jobs that work on these government jobs that see a lot of fucked up shit and are afraid, like cowards. Like, you know, the only time they'll talk about it is if, you know, they amongst they friends in a safe place, you know. But in the public, on the job, you know, they'll never ever discuss the corrupt that goes on in the government establishment. And I think that what Trump attempt was. And, you know, when you have people that have something to hide, they'll do any and everything it takes to shut you up, to silence you. And you have all these millions of people that support Trump. They out here protesting about their votes, you know, being counted properly and fairly. And you have these Democrats on the other side, you know, that just, you know, showing us, you know, a whole fucked up new way of living. And you wonder why this country is gonna continue to, you know, be divided, you know, because you have people that cannot be compromised. You know, they, you know, are making it difficult to compromise for the sake of humanity and for the sake of the country and for the sake of the world, you know. And when you have, you know, a force like that you're being challenged with like that, Then it made people like me step back and see, and say, this ain't worth it. I can't trust these people. If they doing this amongst themselves in high positions, then I know anything else below them is gonna just crumble. It's gonna crumble. It gonna crumble soon enough. I think this country is on a meltdown, man. Ain't it's not nothing good gonna come out of this president, Joe Biden. Just like a lot of people felt didn't nothing good come out of the president with with Donald Trump as president, so to speak. It's a lot of people, that's gonna really see what Joe Biden is about. Like, they gonna really sit back and see what this man gonna do to this country and to the people of this country. And it's gonna be left up to the people to decide yet again for their very existence. Like, you got a lot of people that have common fucking sense, like a righteous spirit, and you got people that know when danger is among them. So I hope that people that support the Democrat establishment, I hope that y'all go down with the ship when it's time to. Don't switch up, don't change up. Thank you for ruining my life. Thank you for, telling me that I don't have a voice. Thank you for letting me know that I'm, not recognized as, a human, living, life source in this world. Thank you for changing the way we know the world, and as we have always known the world. I want to say this is my, war cry. Thank you for giving me every more reason to say fuck the justice system, to say fuck the government system, to say, fuck politicians. And thank you for giving me even more reason to not vote, which I never did. I never have. Not for a governor, not for a judge, not for a councilman, not for a mayor, not for a president, not ever. But my voice will be heard, my words will, be heard. I think that it's gonna be a lot of people that, gonna try to shade me and, counsel me, like they say, culture counsel me or whatever. But how can you counsel me from a culture that been a lie to me for all my life? So if you want to counsel me from this culture, I want to say personally, thank you for doing me that favor, because for so long I've been wanting to counsel myself from this culture, and finally I have people that don't mind helping me. So and another thing, to anybody that might watch this video and might want to have all that bullshit to say about me, I want to say thank you. Thank you, for dismissing me out your life, because you helping me be more stress free. From sucker motherfuckers like you, and lame, and returds, like you. So I just want to say thank you, to all my haters that are gladly accepting that I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank you. I want to say I'm proud to say that I don't fuck with you. So I'm not a Democrat or Republican. You know, if you want to say anything about it, I'm independent. You feel me? I see things, from a righteous perspective, you know, even though it's a struggle living in a corrupt world, because I've done so many things, that wasn't righteous. So, I'm going to keep it a buck. You feel me? I'm going to keep it a buck, but, you live and you learn, you grow, and when you know better, you do better. You feel me? So, obviously, the people in this country, can vote for a criminal, but, I guess that's the way they want things to go in this new world order, which is turning. Like, it's turning. They trying to make it really come through, and at all costs. Joe Biden and, Kamala Harris and the whole Democratic organization, what they doing, and the Republican organization and what they doing, because, if you ask me, all this could just be a smoke screen. All this could just be a smoke screen, But I do know is a lot of people finna die. I've been saying this. I've been talking about the race war. This ain't my first time, speaking about, the things that are going on in this country and, what's going to take place because of it, the ramifications of decisions that, people in high places make, in a country that they say they love and, all this. But these people do not love this country, man. It's obvious. It's on both sides, Republican or Democrat. These people do not uphold the oaths that they make to the Constitution of this country. You can go to any police officer and question him about the oath he made to become a police officer, and they will literally argue with you about it. There's no pride in the oath that they took. They would show you aggressiveness and, resistance to have that knowledge as a citizen. They will literally, I say 80% of police officers, if you ask them, are they committed to the oath that they made while taking a position as a police officer, you will see a lot of them will probably have, some hesitation, or they'll, try to kind of like bounce around a question, or, distract you from, something that they know is hard for them to answer their damn self. So, just know this, man. Like, if you in this time and in this world right now, you just gotta be independent. I'm happy I didn't never vote, because that way can't nobody blame me for the wrongdoing of people. I ain't denying nothing. I ain't denying myself or nothing. Because if I see these people going at it with each other over power, then they let me know these people are just immature and they still growing and learning. They can't teach me shit. They can't show me shit. And they definitely don't speak for me as an individual, as a human being. They definitely don't represent me as an individual, as a human being. They didn't fight no war for my freedom. The wars that America been in did not benefit me in this country at all. So then looking at my own people in Black America, how we have, just been destroyed and broken up as a nation, as a people. We holding ourselves back from the dream. We keep asking other people to deliver us out of our problems and out of our situations. And you see what that do every time. Every time we expect, the government to change our problems, we get caught up in some more problems. Because we thinking that the deals we making with these people is actually gonna be a benefit to us as Black America, when it's a stagnant, it's a snare and a stumbling block to us coming together as the people who we are in this country. Fuck everybody else. Take everybody else out the picture. What do Black America have? Do we have an economic structure? Do we have a capital? Do we have a capital? Do we have a economy where we gaining capital and wealth? Talk to me. Don't be afraid. Talk to me. Shit. I want to know. Since y'all say that Black people have benefited and we doing good, then tell me what we doing good at. Other than selling drugs, other than BET, other than, these reality TV shows, other than hip hop, other than, pimping a woman and, selling our souls for fame and fortune. Tell me, what do Black America have? What do we have? Because most of the Black women spending money on hair and beauty products. They want to bleach their skin and shit. Shit like that. Skin bleach. That's the type of shit that Black folk do. Like, I'm very, very, very embarrassed about that. Black folks bleaching their skin. You got this girl named Moniece on Real Housewives of Atlanta, some shit like that. This girl named Moniece, right? Everybody that watch that reality show know that this girl done bleached her skin, man. She was dark skinned when she first started that show. Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was dark skinned. She went through a skin bleaching process and made herself look ugly like a motherfucker. And then, there are health conditions that's gonna come later on down the road for that lady, for that woman that did that, for that sister. It's gonna be health conditions for her, man. You can't take these products and expect not to have no defects from it. You done took your natural body and turned it into an unnatural state, and you actually think that you're gonna live the rest of your life healthy. And Moniece, here to tell you, sis, you gonna go through a lot of skin problems as the years go on for doing that, because for one, it's not natural. For two, that wasn't in your DNA makeup, so you wasn't made up to be a light-skinned woman or a white woman, and you artificially reverse the nature of your own body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just embarrassing, man. What kind of message are you sending to other young Black women, man? That is it that bad with your self-esteem? I mean, that's fucked up. You on a reality TV show, going through a skin bleaching process, and you sending a very bad image and a message to the young black women in America. Like, look at the Braxton family. Look at the Braxtons, man. They putting Botox in their face, you know, doing all that plastic surgery shit. Now look at them. They got to spend more money to upkeep that shit so they ass won't get sick. So they ass won't get fucked up from doing that shit, man. Having them type of surgeries, man, on their face. Like, man, they look dead. Like, they look like dead people, like zombies. Like, when they get older and older, you know, that all that plastic surgery, all that unnatural stuff that they put in their face, like Botox and silicone and whatever it is that they use, you know, to alter their image, their looks, that shit is gonna fuck with them later on in life. And they gonna be miserable. They gonna be miserable as hell. They gonna have to go through all kind of counseling, therapy. They gonna get paid for it because, you know, that's what they call it, emotional distress, you know. And they agree to this shit, you know. Look at K. Michelle, man. This woman, you know, damn near on the edge of her life for having a fake ass. Like, I ain't want to say it like that, but that's just the way it came out. I don't mean no, you know, that's just the truth. You know, even she, you know, was on live TV in front of millions of people about to die because she wanted to have a nice big booty. Just couldn't be happy with what her mama gave her naturally. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't just be happy with what, you know, so-called God, you know what I'm saying, created her with. And that's what I don't understand about, you know, women. You know, women, I just feel like, man, women suppress themselves to be in a low self-esteem mindset because they worry about too fucking much that it's not, you know, necessary to fucking worry about. Like, you don't see no man, you know, no real man worrying about a fucking pimple on his face or how oddly shaped his nose look. You know, that's a person that have accepted and embraced who they are. If you gotta alter yourself, if you gotta alter how you look to be satisfied with who you are not really human. You something else. You a whole nother spirit. You can't be of God or whatever they like to say.